Hugh.
Live from the mob, gotta trust them.
Live from West London.
Yeah. And I got my
How'd you
niggas
do
with me. Yeah.
West?
Don't do gang signs here,
It's
man.
not a
Do you know what, yeah? I like, you know when you have
not a
like,
gang
you have
sign.
like fantasies of your success.
Yeah.
So I've had like a fantasy that I wrote like a Oscar award-winning film or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was looking in the mirror, like
naturally.
acting it out. Yeah, you know, naturally. Nothing strange or hyper imaginative about that. Yeah, and then I was just like, and I was like, oh yeah, and I do it for where we're from.
Yeah.
And I've done like the sign with my hand.
Ooh.
I'm just thinking,
Ooh.
Now what implications does this give? What's this give? But then I was just like, nah, fuck it. If I ever win an award,
Yeah.
I'm quoting Schoolboy Q, Break the Bank. What you talking about if it ain't about the money? Go figure, turn around and be your mommy. Yeah. We got him out.
Do you know what it is? I feel like
Fuck rap. My
So
daddy a
a gangster. I feel like even if you're not a gangbanger, you should be allowed to rep your ends. I don't know how to put it, but there's something about, like, for example, watching I'm gonna speak about it because I know y'all want to hear it. Watching Damson Idris, The People's Choice, Mr. Chaka Whirlpool, sorry Terrell, talking about, like, you know, repping Peckham, so to speak, without necessarily claiming gang affiliation. I think it's absolutely fine. That's where you're from, and I feel like you should be allowed to be like, yeah, I'm from here, without it being like, am I saying that I was doing badness? No, you don't have to say. That doesn't mean that you were. Do you know what I mean?
I definitely feel like with people, with certain people, it's like it's different. Like I feel like obviously if I was in those circumstances, one, I'm not living there anymore. Like I wouldn't still be in ends, realistically.
Wow.
No. I'm not saying it as in like a I don't want to be around.
I gotta get out of here.
I grew up, but nigga, we trying to survive, and I'm trying to get it out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be there. Plus, if I'm not gang like affiliated in that regard, like nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, this nigga that won an Oscar, this nigga that won a Grammy, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody. I don't think people care at that point. It's just like that nigga's doing his own thing.
Yeah, I get that. Let's intro.
Anyways, your boy Denzel.
It's your girl Lex,
and you're locked into
Twin Podcast.
We're even vlogging today.
We are vlogging today.
Our day today.
Hi vlog.
We're doing day in the life. Let's see who really come burn a boy if you're mad.
Yeah, the day in the life will also be on our
there's
YouTube
no need for me to comment
channel. So yeah, where you're watching this, it's a be there.
I'm confused by Central C. In fact, today's not the day. We talking about everything black today. We talking about everything black.
Black.
Yeah.
People, black magic.
We are talking about black magic. We're talking about Juuj
the dark
today.
arts.
Yeah. And perception. This was really random. Because you told me, can I watch it?
Can you watch the video?
Yeah.
You can watch the video.
I'll just edit this part out. But apparently, J in your face.
J Hot's Anthony Place.
Yeah, apparently he did like a freestyle on the TL, and I'm currently off Twitter. So someone asked me today, fam, did they suspend your account? I was just thinking, I don't do stuff like reckless like that. I just deactivated it because it's at the moment anyway. I'm not saying I'm going to permanently.
It's bad vibes.
It's just bad vibes. There's too much information. Like I say this all the time. I don't think human beings were made, or bare people say this anyway. But I don't think human beings were made to have this much information at all present times. And it's like, I feel like I go on these social apps when I'm bored, and it's like, if I'm, did you crack your thing?
No, that's my case.
Oh, if I'm only here, or I only go on this when I'm bored, that's the passive thoughts that I'm letting into my mind. So why let that be negative energy?
Let me preface this by saying there was a point when I stopped listening to that.
Oh, it got that crazy? I
just closed it. I said, I don't have to, you know, there was like, I don't need this. Yeah. Look, I'm even stuttering. God. So.
Okay, so I've now, reply to you better. I've now listened to the J Hus thing, like the freestyle that was on the TL. Can't lie, it was hard. Man said stabbing his iris, and now he's blind. Okay, that was a lot of violence. But yeah, the 666 line. He said 666, not 999. So I feel like what he's saying is, in his times of need, he's going to the judge and not the ambulance.
Not the pole.
That's who he's calling on.
He's not calling on the authorities. Cool,
but I will get back to that. Yeah, so that's what sparked this whole topic.
Yeah, that's why.
What was your introduction to like
Black magic
or black magic?
Obia.
the strength of the Black Panther. Because technically that's black magic. But hey, anyway, when it's commercialized,
but you didn't get your powers though. You didn't get your powers when we were all supposed to. Did you get your powers, or do I not know about them?
What, September? Where was it? When was it? When the celestial, when the ancestors were gonna give us,
Listen,
the solstice.
I didn't get
solstice.
I didn't get my powers.
I didn't get my powers.
Nothing in my life has changed. In fact,
I feel like my life's gone worse. So
dead ass though, bro. Dead ass. It did not get any better. My first introduction. I've been in pain and suffering. My first introduction to juju.
Mm-hmm.
Black magic, a draw.
You're dumb. But go on.
Was around the time when I watched Who Killed Kofi.
By the way, yeah.
But God needs to know.
A draw in like tree means like
it literally means medicine.
Like, it means like medicine. But people can say it like in terms of like, oh, if it's medicine that's good for you, or like judge like.
When you say medicine in that sense, you're talking like herbal. You're talking like witch doctor, Dr. Marabout for those who speak French. Like it's all in, it's the same thing. So my first introduction to a draw was around it. So basically Nollywood.
Yeah.
And Gallywood.
Gallywood. There's a Ghanaian film called Who Killed Kofi Anoche in it, and that is what it's fam. It's classics. It's like there's certain Ghanaian films that are just staples in the Ghanaian film community.
Yeah.
Who Killed
Miracle
Kofi
films.
Miracle films. What else? Church Money.
If you speak true, you aren't watching them films.
Of politics.
Hey, people play a dirty game, and when you point your finger at someone, don't forget that the rest of them are pointing back at you. Judge not.
What a film.
What? And I was like, they really are.
They're pointing back at me. When you master the ball against the wall.
Oh, you reap exactly what you sow.
Exactly what you saw.
So when you throw a ball
against the wall, it bounces back to you. You better watch what you do. Nah, fam. What was the other film? What was the son of a tomato seller? What film was that?
Love and Politics.
Oh yeah.
Because his daughter wanted to go and get a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was a pauper, and her dad was like, the son of a tomato seller.
Fam, that was literally, what same vibes it was. It was the same vibes of, if you don't get out of this place, you stink of poverty. Fam, what's that film where Nana Amma McBrown eats cocoa and she goes blind?
No, don't kill me. I think that was the Ekusika film.
Ekusika,
no, but there was another one actually.
Fam, this one,
where she goes in the stream.
This, putting on Ghanaian or tree speakers, yeah. Basically, there was this film where this actress, who's like well known, inside of it, she was blind, innit? But then she got her sight. But then the witch doctor that gave her the sight basically said, as long as she doesn't eat plantain, then she'll be able fine.
to see for the rest of her life.
Come.
Yeah, she got angry one time and
Nikondo, cocoa, so plantain in it. Like she wanted to eat plantain.
Oh, it was so tired.
So yeah, then she went blind. Crazy.
Yo, you know them films were so crazy.
So when you did the concept,
was when she had the girl had boils on her arms, and here we go with the juice, because this is a drill for sure. And she went into a stream and dipped her arms, and then she came out, and everybody was scared of her. They were treating her like a leper. Then when she revealed her arm, it was all gold. Bro. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. So I feel like Gallywood particularly was like my first introduction to like a drill black magic, juju, or even just like, I guess, strange spiritual things happening that are not like everyday explained things, and you just put it down to judge whether it's good or bad. But like Kofi Anoche was Comfort, which is a witch doctor, essentially a herbalist, a fetish priest,
as some would say,
and they have that thing that they shake, the little straw thing, and yeah, breaking news.
Siam. Imagine a witch doctor telling you going Siam. Nah, go sorry.
But I think like watching that was like, yeah, okay, cool. This Judge stuff, it seems real to me.
I think my earliest memory of Judge was again with like Gallywood and Santo.
Oh,
there's this really old Ghanaian actor called Santo. He passed away like when we were kids. But yeah,
Santo and Judas.
Yeah, Santos and Judas. Like all of those films is what like proper like made it.
The Village films
made it real to me, and I don't know at the time. I just saw it as films, innit? Like I didn't take it in as real. But I feel like as soon as you're able to imagine something, it's real, even if it's real in just concept, but it's real. Like that's why I have this whole like thing with like when people say they don't believe in God and stuff, like it's like you believe in the idea of not believing in something. So it's kind of like this. Anyway, that's a different philosophical debate for a different day. But yeah. So that was my earliest introduction to it. And as a kid, I didn't take it in too tough. It didn't really like guide my life, or I didn't see it outside of just the film because we're just watching something, and then my reality is not in a village.
Yeah, it's not reflective of that.
Yeah, it was very different. So I never really internalized it like that. But I feel like only when you get to school and stuff, then people start saying like, that's Judge, or that's Judge, or I can bang Judge, or I can do. In them times, nobody used to say Judge. It was always Juju.
Yeah,
like,
I can do Juju.
Yeah, I can do Juju on you, or I'll get my cousin to do Juju on you, or stuff like that. He was just thinking, okay, that nigga, I'm staying away from him. That girl there, she wants to do a sacrifice with her hair.
No, but do you know what? I think the mad part is like, at that age, when we were younger, like primary school times, and I would see Juju, I'd be like, rah, like that's all mad. But like, if I'm out and about in London, I'm not hearing
yeah,
and I'm not seeing like flashing lights and stuff like that. So I just thought like, as much as it seemed real, it seemed a bit, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, who really has like powers? But then you get to like British TV and American TV, and they're doing like, you know, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and people have powers. And I'll tell you something for an absolute fact. Salem, that all black cat, was scarier to me than Confuanochi. Do you get what I'm saying?
I remember
I can see a Salem.
Yeah.
I can see an all black cat just coming through whenever something's about to go wrong, or randomly running off a kitchen counter. I can see that. I couldn't see the village stuff that was happening and thinking, yeah, somebody's gonna crack an egg and then I'm done for. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't see, do you know what I'm saying? I couldn't see that. So, for what? Like, what are you gonna curse me for? But do you think it's funny? I'm gonna say, yeah, how some people weren't allowed to watch like Harry Potter. And
I'm thinking, you're allowed to watch Nollywood every single day, but a nigga having a wand is what your parents drew the line.
What?
I'm gonna say our parents weren't that type of parents. I think when Harry Potter came out, I was too young to even watch it.
We watched it still. We got the DVD.
Because you lot older than me.
Yeah.
I remember when you lot went to the cinema to watch it though. Like, or at least Leona went to the cinema to watch it.
Philosopher's Stone.
No, I don't even think it was Philosopher's Stone.
That's the first one.
Nah, because I think
we didn't go to cinema to get the Philosopher's Stone.
It was Chamber of Secrets. I think
we got the Philosopher's Stone from the library. It was a tape. It was still cassette times.
No, I'm saying when I remember once you went to the cinema
after.
To watch
that would have been after the second one. Chamber of Secrets we went to see. We didn't go to see the Philosopher's Stone in cinema, but we did watch it at home.
Yeah.
You could get DVDs from the library.
Yeah, I actually remember that.
Yeah, and I wanted to watch Harry Potter, so we rented that one.
That's so crazy, you know.
But you don't think it's mad that people's parents were like, Harry Potter, impossible?
Fam,
Do you think it's because they were kids that were witches though? Because for example, like The Worst Witch, yeah, if you remember that show, they used the weirdest things. Like they used to do the weirdest things, but she was a little bad breed, and she was literally the worst witch, but it was a school of witches. And so do you think like African parents were like, no, they're watching kids doing magic, and that's why they drew the line there, like at Sabrina and that kind of thing, as opposed to like adults? Or do you think they just didn't like white magic?
I think maybe it was. I just don't feel like they liked the concept of us watching it by ourselves.
But why? What's the difference between us watching it by ourselves and us watching people cracking eggs with them?
I don't know. I don't know. I never. To be honest, this is the first time I've ever thought about it from that perspective. You know, I've only ever thought about it from like in terms of like Western perspective or Western portrayal of magic versus black magic. But I've never seen it from like a parent's perspective. That's one thing I never understood. Like
true.
I never understood why that's what I mean. Our parents weren't like that, so I never even had to think about it. But only when I was older and I've rationalized, people just like, yeah, my parents would never let me watch Harry Potter.
People are like, my mum's a Christian, I could never watch Harry Potter. And I'm like, what?
But you're watching these people run that man down. Ella playing, watching people run man down in the village, fam.
I just thought like, that's something I realised as I got older, that people weren't allowed to watch it. Fair enough, innit? Like your parents can parent you however they want to. They're your parents.
Yeah.
But it occurred to me that like people's parents have genuine objections to their kids consuming things with witches and warlocks and wizards. Like people weren't allowed to watch Wizards of Waverly Place.
Fam, but your parents are letting you watch somebody's womb get cursed. Are you serious? Are you serious? People have been cracking eggs for impotence. Yeah. And this is where your parents are drawing the line. Nah, that's crazy.
You can't watch Wizards of Waverly Place.
Nah, that's nuts. I never thought about it that way. I only thought about it from, like I said, like the Western perspective. And that's why I kind of feel like that's what I want to talk about today. Like, why is it like why is it acceptable, like within like Western cultures, for magic to be fine, but black magic is viewed as this type of way? And what really made me feel like this is as the people that I've watched the vlog that we're doing, we see I'm a reading guy, innit? So even here I was reading, even when we were sitting here, it's just like that book must be good because I'm still reading it. It actually is. I've read Homecoming by Jesse, and she basically, and inside of it there's a part where a woman's like, her family basically given her to like the white men that's coming to Ghana, like one of the white men. And that's like a good thing from like her parents' perspective because he's wealthy or whatever. But basically they say that she should put a leaf under her, something under her bed to help her get pregnant. And then he's calm and he's like, what the hell? Like, never put this type of stuff in our bed again, or in our marriage, in our place again. And it's just like, if I'm like, so what, like, you guys have why is it that you guys will craft stories about wizards, or even like what's my man name, what's the patron of England, St. George's or something, what
good question.
I think it's St. George's Day, like him and the dragons and stuff like that. So you man are like cool with that imagery. Why is it that when it's black magic, the black attached to it makes it the worst thing in the world? And it's like, people, when kids were younger, they used to want to be like Harry Potter and stuff like that.
Yeah, your kids are allowed to.
Or like you wanted to be able to like have powers. But why is it when it's the black magic, because it's like traditionalized, is it now that you guys have an issue with it? Maybe it's because of the portrayal of it. Because the way it's portrayed in African films is always for bad, or there's always good and a bad, or a consequence, or a big consequence. Because people are doing it to get what they want, in essence, or that's the way it is viewed as. It's usually viewed in ways of greed and that, which I get. But the concept, that like all magic? That's what I mean though. But that's what the concept of it is, all the same, of you have an advantage over somebody else. Yeah, because you can do something that they can't. That's what it is. Or that they don't know that they can do. Yeah. And I think when you look at it, like, I feel like I have very different opinions from like most people in terms of like what black magic is. I feel like if you believe in like black sensualism or like power within black people, to an extent you kind of believe in black magic. And it's like, maybe not look at it in terms of, oh yeah, this is evil, or this is just a part of like heritage. Because there's bare stuff people used to do, or people still do within family traits and stuff that are just traditions of part of the things. Again, you can question whether traditions is valid or not, but that's the way people are surviving for time. Do you get what I mean? Also, like, what really separates a tradition that seems to work from magic? Like, what if you do, like, for example, even people are like, oh, this is my ritual. Rituals, again, when you think of like traditional cultures, when you look at Africa and the Caribbean and looking at Obia and Juju and stuff like that, it's looked at as wicked through the white lens. But if Madonna wants to have a
show ritual, that's not strange that she has to spin 3 times and dip one baby finger into a water bucket. I'm not saying this is what Madonna herself does, but there are loads of athletes, celebrities who have a whatever they do ritual and nobody questions it.
Why is that not seen as
That's just why is that not seen as magic? Because every time they do it, they do well.
Is it because it's been presented to you in a like more like palatable way? But it's essentially the same thing.
What's the difference between Confi spinning 3 times, touching one toe with the opposing alternate hand,
and then looking to the sky,
than Beyonce doing the exact same thing? Like, what's the difference?
Like, and I feel like it's villainized a lot. But again, the way it's been presented to, I guess, from bare people from when they were young is in a villain perspective. That's why I guess when it's ingested through things like music, that's when people start to have like a lot more like question of it. Like even when you talk about the Lil Nas X thing, like when I first saw that the Call Me by Your Name thing, I can't lie. When I first saw it, I viewed it. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I just saw people like were going in on him or something. And I started watching the video, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing the imagery of him being underneath a tree, being tempted by a serpent or something. And then, it was, when I watched it, he was running away from it. And then something caught him, and then he started to like intermix with it. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't really care about this.
People say, I danced with the devil so many times in many songs.
I was listening to so many. Do
you know how many songs that literally have those lyrics?
And that's why I was like, Bear of this is like fake outrage. Not even fake outrage, but people are just looking for something to be angry about. Yeah. Like people made it a thing of people are always disrespecting Christians, which I get. Like so many things that mock Christian culture, that thing in particular, I don't feel like it was.
I don't think
mocking.
It's different to any of the other. I don't think it's different to somebody else saying, like, Eva ate the apple. Like people have said stuff like that. Like, these are literal bars.
There's so many.
I don't think it's different.
So many times women are used as like will be used as like not the scapegoats temptress. But the temptress, or like in terms of like the representation of Adam and Eve, or somebody being in hell or heaven. Like people say I'm in hell all the time. Like, so where do you draw the line on what you deem as acceptable of this of devil? I don't know if it's not devil worship. What's or I can't think of the term, but you niggas know what I'm trying to say. Like, where do you draw the line with that?
How dark is too dark?
Yeah, exactly. How dark is too dark? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Bare people had so much to say about this, and I was just like, if it's about a religion thing, there's so many other things that take place within our religious community as Christians that is going to have more precedence than Lil Nas X music video.
Definitely.
Like, being real, like there's so many other things.
Furthermore, it doesn't directly conflict with. Anyway, I don't have much to say on that.
From what he said, people were telling him to go to hell. You're damned. So in his music video, that's what he did. That's a visual. Is it because it was a visual representation of that?
I think people do get nervous at like visual representations, or I think people don't mind hearing something like as an innuendo, or hearing something that sounds like, oh, it's cheeky wordplay, or like understanding that that's what someone's saying, but when they hear it, they're like, oh, do you get what I'm saying? Like people don't mind it, and that's what I think is the difference between when even murder imagery. Sorry, I should have done a content warning. But do you know what I'm saying? When people talk about chingim, people don't mind hearing chingim, but they don't want to hear
the video.
They don't want to see a video where it's actually happening. And then if they do hear it, they feel like, oh, couldn't you put it in a different way? You want me to artistically call myself a murderer? I don't understand. Like, there's only so many ways you can put it. For example, nobody thought it sounded problematic when Bobby Shmurda said all the things that he said on Hot Nigga. Like nobody thought.
Then he seen him twirl, then he dropped nigga.
Like nobody thought there was a problem with it because it was bouncy, it was jumpy, and it was cute. But then they come on the internet and they're like, a drill is killing our community. The kids of today, all they talk about is juking and stabbing. It's like, Are they saying anything different to what 50 Cent was saying in 2003? No.
Many men wish that for
Like,
blood on my
like they're not saying anything different, but I feel like people want to hear it a certain way so that they don't feel bad for enjoying the content. That's what I think. I think people don't want to enjoy bad thing.
Like,
and that's
when it's
okay
overt,
too, but you need to decide what side you're on.
And reeling it back to, I don't think you do, you know.
Well, maybe you don't, but then don't be vocal about one thing, but be happy to inject the next thing. That's a bit mad to me.
I feel like everybody's hypocrites. I say it all the time. Like, same way, choose what pill you want to swallow in it. But then, I don't feel like you can then, like, the same people that listen to that, I don't feel like you can come then and to wheel it back to J Hus and condemn. You can do whatever you like in it. But to be honest, it doesn't make sense to me if you're like, oh yeah, and then he comes back and condemns it. And condemn what J Hus saying, fam. You're fine with this. You're fine with people talking about murder and killing, ching my ops, but then when it's 666 instead of 999, you have an issue. Plus, I feel like there of these people play into that as well.
For sure, but I do think in the same way, I reserve the right to not want to listen to that.
That's fine.
Which I think that's what I think where the grey area, so to speak, comes in, because people know that they reserve the right to not want to hear that, but then at the same time they know that they've been taking in that kind of content just in a different way. But it's like, oh yeah, I don't really want to hear it like that though, so I'm just. But equally, I don't go on the internet and talk about how many things I think are so evil and scary when I've listened to other music that I'm just like, this is like, if I'm really listening, this is questionable stuff. I know some people don't listen deeply to music, so I don't even think this applies to everyone, because there are some people who genuinely listen to music and they're passive. They're not listening to the lyrics. They're not thinking about what that means. They're not unpacking it. But I know what I'm like with music. So if I'm taking something in and it's not good, that I know that, like, that's a fact for me, which I think, yeah, like, you reserve the right to be like, actually, I don't want to listen to this. And you can choose not to listen to even just one song from a certain artist. Like, you can do that. I can say, do you know what? I didn't enjoy that particular line. I'm not listening to that song. That's okay. But I do think that, like, there's an element of people being like, oh, no, Juju. Now I'm scared. Same way, like, people did it with Summer Walker when she was doing up, Witch Doctor. They said they don't listen to the rest of her music, but the rest of her music makes no reference to it. It's more her lifestyle. So do you think that the character stroke personality stroke lifestyle of an artist can stop you from listening to their music if you genuinely like their music?
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I feel like for some people, like, I get when I do get everything that I'm opposed against, innit? Like, or most things that I'm opposed against. Like, I get why some people might not want to take in J Hus because he talks about it a lot.
To
like,
a point where you must live this.
Yeah, like,
I believe him still. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, like, he just like, he was like, you want the bun Sam on the lizard, like, or my uncle. Okay, cool, it's fine. You man are laughing. I'm gonna get my uncle on you, like that type of stuff.
Daddy's coming home to stop all the.
Yeah, fam. Fam. You really came home and stopped all the fuckery, fam. Got her pregnant. That's crazy, you know. That's one of the, when you look at that
it's a full
sequence.
moment.
That's like one of the funniest. That's one of the funniest things ever. A man literally said, "Daddy is coming home," and now you a daddy, nigga. That's crazy.
He meant it,
fam. He meant that shit. He did that shit. He did
Your
that
Honor.
shit. Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
He did that shit. I ain't forgot what I was gonna say.
You were saying you get why people.
Yeah, like, I get it. Like, if again, like, you don't, like, if you see it all the time from somebody, you're just like, okay, cool. Yeah, your lifestyle is actually like this. I don't want to indulge in you. That's completely fine as well.
Yeah,
that's completely fine as well. I get it, and I feel like that's when. Sorry, to back to your earlier point. Yeah, like, definitely people's lifestyles can affect the way I take in their music. Like, if, like, Lil Tecca, I will never listen to Lil Tecca. This guy, I got two twin. I feel like I said this to you before in another episode. I got two twin glocks, turn them into dancers.
Oh, and he said he doesn't have glocks.
I got purple, I got white, and you don't do any of those things. Same way as that EO brother that made that in a German, and he doesn't drive. He doesn't drive. So it's like, I can't take. I think I respect you more if you actually do the things that you say you do, even if it's
Juuj badness. I prefer that you're not lying about it.
I prefer that you're not lying about it. Great, people can use like innuendos and stuff, but when it's just blatant lies, like
it's a lie.
Do you get what I'm? It's a like he lied, and you niggas worship him. It's like I can't take you in. But at least that's me. Like, I guess people can draw the line wherever they want to. But I find it easier to be like, okay, maybe this is an artistic flex in this type of way, and you're over exaggerating things. Like, I feel like someone like Huss plays into it because he knows it's rubbing some people up the wrong way. Like, same time, I feel like he does whatever he wants. But I feel like with the Juju J thing, he, like, even calling yourself Juju J, like, I feel like you're doing it.
It raises eyebrows.
Yeah, I feel like you're doing it to raise eyebrows. But then in the same time, he can say that in a song, and then he has a song called Love, Peace and Prosperity. God grant us the longevity. Like,
before he said the 666, he definitely said Allahu Akbar.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like when you take into consideration that the dualities of people's characters, one part of you may be doing this, and the other part is you doing that. And I feel like maybe it can be like a personification, or an amplification of the different sides in you. Because Kendrick Lamar definitely has a song called For Sale, and in the song he's being tempted by the devil. And when I get you.
It's not that I'm telling you, there's hella songs.
But is it because Kendrick, you see him as like a positive influence?
But like, is he a positive influence all the time? Like, this is the thing. People choose which they think they like. I think, because I remember somebody said to me, and I'm not going to at them or anything, but I remember somebody said to me, oh, I thought J. Cole was woke, but then he's calling women bitches in his music.
Can he not be both?
And then I was like, and the conversation I had with them was, I hear what you're saying. I actually hear what you're saying. Where do we draw the line at use of language? And whether you, like, what your intention is with use of language. You don't know what his intentions are with use of language. Like, I'm not saying I walk around going, bitch this, bitch that, da-da-da-da. But in the same way, I don't feel offended when I hear J. Cole say it. Or, for example, when Missy Elliott literally did She's a Bitch, it didn't offend me. There are reasons why people make music the way they make music. And there are also reasons why people use some of the phrases and terms and words that they use. For me, if Cole stood up on a stage, I've seen him perform live. If he stood up on a stage and was doing, now where the bitches at in here, I would be a bit more spun than to hear bitches come and go. You know that, like, it's, for me, it feels different. But I feel like when people decide I feel like this conflicts with their character at the time of the music, but it's like somebody else can do it. But I feel like, no, now he's not woke now because one tune is like this and a next tune he says that. And I don't know. I feel like, what is the benchmark? I can't live like that when it comes to music. I feel like,
I guess maybe it's like from a creative standpoint, is there's so many different parts of you that like exist. Like, again, I feel like I've said this again before. I don't want to sound like a broken record in it, but it's like you're different people like all the time. The way I am with you is different to how I am with like
your mates.
Brick for brick.
Even
it's different. How
Leona,
brick for yeah, like it's different. Is different.
Yeah.
And if in one instance I feel this type of way and I express it this way, I guess especially because I do writing and stuff, it's like one moment I could be simping about something, and the next moment it's like I don't give a damn about any of you guys. Like, and it's like that's still the same person, still Denzel that wrote that.
Yeah.
But it's Denzel in a different mood.
Sometimes I want to pop my shit.
And
other times I'm in my sad girls club bag, and that's okay.
Damn, that's okay. But back to the people's lifestyles, yeah. I feel like maybe J. Cole's lifestyle makes it more palatable for me to listen to him saying before I started calling bitches so heavily. Like, again, I feel like a lot of the time is people's lives that make them the way they are with stuff. Like, I don't know his experiences, how many women he's intertwined with that he sees some type of bitches as bitches. Like, do you get what I mean? But yeah, someone like Tory Lanez, I don't listen to Tory Lanez music anymore.
Yeah,
because personality.
It was very easy for me to stop listening to him because I stopped liking him.
I wasn't.
I didn't even like him that much, to be honest.
Like, I wasn't that invested in your music. Yeah. There's still like I say that as like there's one song that I'm fighting not to listen to.
Which song?
When he from Chick State 5 when he remixed the Let's Get Blown.
Oh,
cause I don't wanna drive when I'm like that. Yeah. That tune I actually really liked that song.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like,
how annoying.
fam, and it's like, do you get what I mean? Or like some of his other songs. That's when, because I didn't like him and then I liked him. So it's like he won me over when he was giving me his character. But then when your character became in question for me, that's why I feel like for a lot of people it's harder, because someone like J Hus, I didn't fall in love with J Hus's like character when I first met him.
Yeah.
I heard his music and it was just like, oh, this guy's present. Then I was like,
I thought he was funny, to be honest.
Oh,
because
like,
I saw his freestyles like early doors.
And then I did.
Yeah.
And then I saw his personality. I was just like, oh, this guy's funny. He makes music. I didn't take in like his, how can I say this? He is a very character person. Like his character comes through from his music. But I didn't put all my stakes in what kind of human being you are. That's why I feel like when he's talking about chinging or whatever, like that's not where my value in you lies. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like same way with like someone like Diggity, like I was never invested in your morals. Do you get what I mean? So I can listen to you saying, is it chingy, because I'll never invest in your morals. If now J. Cole came around and said, I'm murdering niggas, I grave niggas, that, do you get, like, then I'd be like, okay, you made me invested in your morals and what you believed in, and now is that, so that's why I get where that girl's coming from. The first song she heard was
what song?
On my way now.
It wasn't though.
Then if it was, I could hear that, or you still gonna ride with me.
I don't. But the thing is, she wasn't giving that I listen to like his sweet I love women music, but he doesn't really have that many of those kinds of songs, so to speak.
What did you?
I don't know, innit? I don't know. I just think that people want that if somebody fights for a cause, that they fight for all causes. And I think that's a hard ask.
That's a hard ask.
That's a hard ask for a human being, and I think that happens a lot. Like if somebody realizes that you care about social justice in one way, so for example, I care bare about black people, but if somebody knows that you care loads about black people, then they expect for your plight to also be feminism, for example. I'm not saying that's not my plight. However, you can be more educated on one thing than the next.
And you can care about same way you man don't. This is what I mean, fam.
It's always the people who don't care
about everything, fam.
But they want you to care about everything.
Fam, you actually don't care about everything. There's so many things, and that's what I was saying even with the Lil Nas X thing. There's so many things across so like many bases of the stuff that you care, that you believe in, or that you care about, that you don't give a hoot about. Mm-hmm. Bare people, even in terms of the preservation of black lives, bare people don't care about black trans lives.
No,
like you don't.
All.
So how can you possibly expect? And I say that because that's an evident thing, and we were having that conversation before. Like, so how can you expect other people to care about everything of everything if you don't care about? Fam, like that's what I mean.
Every single facet.
Like with the music thing, if you don't want to listen to somebody talking about Juuj, don't indulge your spirit in that. If that's what you really like care about, turn it off.
Turn it off.
It's
like
literally.
The time the creator said, "How can you get cyberbullied?"
Fam, turn off your computer.
You know what? You can get cyberbullied.
Yeah, like for real. But it's like
you can choose what music you listen to, and you should be. I think that's another thing. Be intentional about what you want to listen to.
If it means that much to you,
listen to music that everybody's listening to just because it's charting right now. I have 2 different streaming platforms, and I listen to some weeks I listen to the same music. Not new music at all. I will not take in any new music because I want to listen to the playlist that I've curated. You literally have the choice to listen to what you want to listen to. So if, for example, something like that comes on the timeline, if you think Huss has been giving me weird vibes, you skip the video. I wanted to hear it personally. I wanted to hear it, and when I heard it, after that, I saw like the aftermath, and I was like, oh, okay. And I get why, because there was a point when I listened and I was like, oh, don't like that. But is that going to stop me from listening to all of his music? I can't say that to you.
Like, that's what I mean.
And I think I reserve the right to listen to or choose what I want to listen to and decide whether or not this is too much for me. But I can't and don't care about everything. Your cause and my cause, they're different causes.
And that's why I feel like, even from when I say that I'm not on Twitter right now, it's because that's what I was saying, like in terms of that too much information.
Hella info.
Like so many times, I'll see something on the TL and I'll have my initial reaction to it. And then because it's entertaining, you'll read the comments. And then, or in fact, no, what I realized I was doing a lot of times is I'd read something and I look at the comments to see whether I should like it or not. Because I wanted to see if it's something, I wanted to see what context it was in. And it's just like, why am I
looking for other people's
validation on what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, or funny or not funny,
whether I should be outraged or not outraged.
Do you get what I mean?
I agree that everybody who saw this seems to see it in a certain way. Do I even think it's that deep, or does a TL think it's deep? So now I have to think it's deep. Do I need to react to this because everybody's talking about it, or can I tweet that I had a really good lunch and go about my day? And it's stuff like that, and then people be like, read the room. I didn't choose to be in the. I'm in the room, but I didn't know. I didn't know all of you had done something in this same room before I got here. Now I have to read a room I just got to.
But
it's your timeline. It's a lot.
The day I came off was the day of the George Floyd case.
Yeah, the Chauvin trial.
The Chauvin trial, yeah.
That was the worst vibes day. I was barely on Twitter that day.
And it's like, he literally got, the guy got guilty on all charges. Woo! Yeah, like, same time it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It's so sad when you realise that you're celebrating murderers being imprisoned. Like
he dead ass committed.
And that's like justice or whatever, but it's like those things shouldn't be happening in the first place. And literally straight after that, when they killed the 15 or 16-year-old girl, and you shot her 4 times. Like, what? And I was just like, we literally can't have anything.
We can't have anything.
And it's like, I don't want to be here and see this discussion. I don't want to feel like I'm being... I found
myself responding to a tweet that got me mad. And then I was like, after I responded, I was like, you know, I'm going to go have a shower. And then I just aired like the response because someone tweeted basically, I get why the officer acted the way he did, but he could have shot her in the leg. I was like, or he could have not shot her, irrespective of the circumstances, because people were like that the little girl had a knife,
She had a knife. But by the way,
she was on her own property.
People were attacking her. She called, like, that's what. And
like,
it's just,
there's context to everything. The police didn't just turn up and, you know, they're like, everybody's like, they have to make quick decisions.
No, nobody needs to shoot a 16-year-old
like, you do need to make quick
girl,
decisions, but you also, as a police officer, should be trained to understand what imminent risk actually looks like. If you can take Dylan Roof to, what was it, Burger King? After he just killed people, like a legitimate massacre of a multitude of people at a place of worship. If you can think, anyway, it's not going to be violent arresting this guy. We're just going to cuff him. He's a kid. You couldn't look at a 16-year-old girl and think, she's got no prior convictions, nothing. And to be honest, she's on her property defending herself. You couldn't sit and think, drop the weapon. That's all they had to say. And it's highly likely she would have, because she called them.
Fam, it's like, why? Like, shooting her regardless doesn't make sense. Even where they shot her doesn't make sense. All. But 4 times as well. Like,
that's shooting to kill.
Like, none of this makes sense. And it's like, I don't need to indulge. Like, realistically, I care so much about the Black lives, but I don't need to see every single one of the deaths. Like,
it's very
traumatic. I really don't. Like, I really don't. I really don't. I don't need to repost things or share things for you lot to know that I care.
But once you start, it's almost like if you don't,
now I'm expected to post every single like. Fam,
if we legit could
bro.
do that, do you know how many hundreds of thousands we would be posting consistently every day? Because it's happening every day. The day before, didn't they killed Dante? Or 2 days before.
And then they stopped. They pepper sprayed that military guy.
There's always something happening. But this only came up because essentially that's why Denzel got off Twitter.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't have it in me to care. Like, no, of course I care, but I don't have it in me to indulge in everything.
In all the things
that's going on. And so I need to. I don't have to look for validation or like feel vindicated when I'm looking at something and I see other people's opinion on it. It's just too much. Decide what you can stomach. Decide what you like.
Yeah.
And then Live your life from there, fam.
Live your life from there. Well, since we were talking before about artists, and speaking of music, you're not on Twitter, so you wouldn't have seen this, but the Wireless lineup. How do you feel about it? I screenshotted it so you can have a look. But for those of you who are listening and not watching, it looks like, so first of all, it's going to be in Crystal Palace Park. Big mistake moving it from not landing to sat landing, I have to say, because
it's just like there's no that.
Who's going there?
Like, transporting them type of ends, it doesn't make sense.
At
North
all.
London, like transport wise, is the mecca of London. I don't care what anybody says.
That's a fact.
I don't care what anybody
We've got
says.
the cleanest transport links.
Damn.
As in,
Victoria Line is literally anywhere.
You can always, or as long as there's a Victoria Line station
what's that
where you're at.
There's no place like fam, you can always get home, fam. There's always that. Yeah, Victoria Line is the yellow brick road, fam.
Yeah.
You can always.
Because you can go to so many different parts, every part of London, by getting on one of them trains, and it's quicker. It's so fast. But anyway, so moved it to Crystal Palace Park. Friday, 10th of September.
TFL rail.
Like, how the hell we gonna get there? I've never been to Crystal Palace Park, I tell you what. But on the 10th, Future, who the hell?
Fam,
Future as a headliner in 2021.
Have you heard the Young Thug tape?
No.
He has a song on there which is the worst song I think I've ever heard in my life. Biggest bad thing, the hook of the song is everybody wants to be a superstar, ride real fast, drive fancy cars. I wanted to off myself listening to that song. I wanted to off myself listening to that song. Anyway, sorry, proceed.
So yeah, first of all, Future's the headliner for that day. And then you've got D Block Europe, Digga D, Ghana, Ivory and Doll. Big up IVD though. Big up her. She been grinding. Lil Baby, Lil Uzi Vert. Not Lil Uzi Vert still doing Wireless.
But yeah.
He was there the last Wireless I was at. Millions.
He said the Juuj line there as well.
He said, what did he say?
The reason why I don't take in Lil Uzi's thing is because he's actually said like I'm a devil worshipper.
That man is weird.
He said he's a devil worshipper, not black magic. He said I believe in I worship the devil.
That is scary. God.
Fam.
Anyway,
he has some lit tunes, and it's like I don't care enough. I wouldn't pay money to see you. Like I don't care enough about your cause to see money to see you. Absolutely. However, if you on a hook, my nigga, like I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna put on your music. I'll never listen to your album because I don't indulge in your music that much or what you believe in that much. But if you're on a hook, like Uzi, I'm so proud of you. That fam,
you lost it. Millions. I like Millions a lot. Mo Stack, SL, Tiffany Calvert and Friends, Unknown T, Young T, and Bugsy.
I think that's the only day I'd go to. But Future's a headliner. I'm not that big of a Future fan, so I wouldn't.
No. I'm not interested, and I don't particularly know what it would look like for the other artists in terms of their sets and how quick or whatever they're going to be. And then the next day, Skepta, then you've got A Boogie with a Hoodie, AJ Tracy. I listened to an AJ Tracy's, and what was I listening to today? His Fire in the Booth with Charlie Sloth, Part 3. Like, chef's kiss. Is
that the one where he's letting the where he's missing the beat drop?
I don't
know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'll show it to you on Apple Music. But yeah, Central C, Blanco, Darko, Hardy Caprio, J1, Meek Mill, Nines, Polo G, Simba, Steel Bangles, Sway Lee, Swarms, Tion Wayne, and I don't know who this person is. ZZ? It's ZIE. I don't know this person. This is what I'm saying. Like, if there's even one that I do not know, then I already feel like, well, what's going on here? And the final one, Migos. Migos. What's Migos headline Wireless in 2021? Abracadabra, Charlie Sloth and Friends, Chip. To be honest, this one's okay. Dig That, Heady One, K Trap, M Huncho, M24, Meg Thee Stallion, Mist, Nath Smalls, Pot of Paper, Pounds, Rick Ross, and Young Thug. Now, the striking thing for me, first of all, there's no women on it.
Except for Meg.
Besides Meg, Tiffany Carver and Friends on the first day. Tiffany's a DJ. That doesn't take away from the fact that that's sick, but that she's not an IVD. She's not headlining as an artist per se. 3 women on the whole thing.
If who's the other woman you would have wanted?
To be honest, I wouldn't want any of the other artists that are there. There's nobody I'm dying to see besides Millions.
No, but I'm saying
But
in terms of women, what women would you want to see?
It depends on, like, people have been making music. Mahalia's dropped some good music. What's her face?
That wasn't, but I feel like this year, at least
Mira May. But this who?
From what I've seen, there is all rap this year, and I don't know, like.
Yeah, but is that a good thing?
I'm not saying it's a good thing or
that's
not.
What I'm. But that's what I'm wondering. Is that a good thing? Is it a good thing? Do we want it to be all rap? Because I've been to Wireless a couple of times, and you do get tired of the rap shit if every artist is just rap. Also, is Wireless a rap festival?
That's what I was about to ask now. What is Wireless? Is it hip hop?
I thought it was just a festival. I would go as far as saying urban music.
Yeah, I've always known it was urban, but I don't know, because that's what's put me off this one. Like, cause I can't think. Rappy. I feel like it's all rappy, and it's like it's all. I don't want to sound disrespectful to people's craft, innit? But no one's like mad star power quality to me there. Like, Migos are big. Future is a big artist.
A lot of the artists on there are big artists, but not people that I'm looking to see. Like, this is the year I need to see so and so.
Maybe it's because so many of it has blossomed like during like quarantine and stuff, or people like built their claim during like lockdown. But it's like none of them are like attention grabbing. Like, I need to be there.
This is the reason why I'm gonna spend £80 on a ticket. Vibes.
It feels. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it feels just mad. And maybe that's like me, but because to be honest, Wireless should be embracing like UK acts, but it feels just mad local to me. If that makes sense. Like,
you a hater.
Like, the lineup's giving me mad local vibes, and it's like I feel like I can see those people anywhere.
True. I would rather go to your own show to see you than see you at Wireless. And I don't mean that across the board. I don't mean that across the board, though. There are some artists who I would like to see in a festival setting, but for example, I don't need to go to a festival to see Tion Wayne. I'd much rather go to a Tion Wayne concert, honestly, because that's going to be the whole vibe there, indoors.
And that's what I feel like, and I think that's what I mean. Like, I don't, like, for someone who hasn't been to Wireless before, this isn't making me want to go, because I feel like if I go into somebody else's show, you could be the opening act, or you could be there with them. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I went to an A2 show, one of these men could be there, even though it's not the same type of music. But you get what I mean? Like, if I went to a Heady show, one of these men would be. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I'd much rather like to. So Heady One and IVD are on different days. I'd much rather like to see them together doing that tune that they did on Edna on a stage, like, and not in a festival, as in a smaller concert, intimate, maybe O2 Academy, or maybe flipping, what am I thinking of? You know, these other kind of, I wouldn't mind a cheeky Village Underground. In fact, I'm dying for it. I wouldn't mind a good show with maybe 5-6 really good UK artists in Village Underground. I'd prefer that to like this whole Wireless day of a couple randos, a couple people you really like, and then that's it. I'd love to see Millions, but I don't know about seeing Millions at Wireless, what that experience will be like for me. I think it just needs to be a bit more intimate than what the Wireless vibe creates anyway. But I miss festivals, I can't lie to you.
Boy, we'll see in it. No, again, this isn't a disrespect to them, man, but it's like, in terms of like what I listen to, like, nothing there's like really like grabbing me. Like, maybe I would want to see Rick Ross. And he was after Rick Ross. I've seen Rick Ross. Young Thug.
Young Thug.
Yeah, I would want to see.
I've seen Rick Ross at Wireless. Good vibes. I wouldn't write home about it. But I think Rick Ross is a festival type of artist. Like, he's good to see outside, like, real big belly rude boy vibes. I like that.
Yeah. It's very underwhelming to say the least.
That's what I think. I do think it's underwhelming. I agree with that. Cool. Top picks. I've got mine written down, hence me looking at my phone, guys. Sorry.
Take it nice and slow. Yes, I know. Okay, cool. So my first top pick is by Shay or Shay.
Okay.
She has a remix of her song Irrational and is featuring Adekunle Gold.
Ooh.
And they used ooh everybody, like she's with me, and it's like, but it's like mixed with Afro pop.
Okay, I do like me some Afro pop,
and it's good. I really like it. That's my first top pick of the week. My second one is it's between these two.
I've got hella topics.
Okay, cool. I'm giving it to AKOBAM, which is Joey B, Kofi Mole or Kofi Mo, and then Medikal.
Yeah.
Oba girl yana min po.
Obi girl yana min po.
I feel like he said something before that. Then he says,
Yeah. AKOBAM,
Fam, I don't know who it is. Which one of them says it, but then I think it's Medikal, and she says, "Girl, you hot and popping, chicken vindaloo."
Like a chicken vindaloo.
Fam, so yeah.
Shout out to Ebenezer Forsen.
That's Ebenezer Forsen. Fam, I just feel like somebody needs to put that in a bar, fam.
Shout out to Ebenezer Forsen.
Fam, my top pick is "Say a Prayer for Me. I'm surrounded by some people that need prayer, mommy. Tell them keep me from that evil eye.
Period. From that evil eye. Yo, Bellah.
The streets are cold. Fam, this one is serious.
She did bits.
Fam, when I saw like people were putting up, I was so happy. I saw SZA followed her.
Yeah,
like,
she deserves
the one that got me is because she put me onto this guy called Destin Conrad. Or cause I saw in her story, and I started listening to him, and he put her colours up. And I was just like, this one in full circles happened. I was just like, that's you know when people's growth is just like beautiful and it makes you smile on the inside type of thing.
She's incredible there.
Fam, she's lit.
Huge shout out, Bellah.
Told you that musical. Yeah, I trust that girl. I trust her. But yeah, that's my top picks. What about you?
I have bare top picks, but I'm gonna pick some that are a bit more in line with yours and then use my own ones later. So my first one is an oldie but a goodie. It's been reintroduced into my life. Shout out to you, you know who you are. It is Tems with iced tea and I mix it with your lemon. I love a bit of iced tea. It's on for Broken Ears. Is that what?
No, I've heard it.
It's on it. Yeah, iced tea and I make iced tea. It's called iced tea with a tea. Huh?
I'll say stop touching the tea.
Yeah, sorry. I'd be touching the mic and then it'll be making noise. Yeah, iced tea by Tems. Banging. My second top pick, it's really hard to choose, but I've been listening to this song and these artists are Latin in some way. I don't know exactly where they're from, but they're definitely rapping in Spanish, and it's called BURBERRY. You know when I listened to the tune, for whatever reason, don't know where I found it. I think I found it on a playlist. And when I listened to it, I had to deep when they said Burberry. Like
Burberry.
Now when they say it, like they're like Ricky.
Dubai. One guy.
So forget it. Forget it.
Oh my days.
Bruh, this man. So this is Myke with a Y, Towers, and Ñengo Flow with BURBERRY. Banging tune.
I'm gonna listen to it just off the strength.
Banging tune. And my final topic for this one, I'm gonna go for SL.
It was your first one. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, my first one was Ice T. For this one, I'm gonna go for SL and Millions with Verses. I like how they go back and back, and I like when I really like Millions. He just says things that I like.
Fam, what did he say in that tune? I only heard a snippet
in this tune. He says the Jamaicans think that I'm arted because even when I'm on the island, I'm still trying to rise up my ting and ras it. I just respect him.
What are you saying?
So about an auntie calling me crassus. I said, okay then. I said no problem. But yeah, that's gonna be my final topic.
Calm. I really loved this. It went everywhere, but I enjoyed that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Good chat.
Calm. Well, it's been your boy Denz.
It's been your girl Lex.
And you've been locked into
Twin Podcast.